One, and this is a special podcast under depression, the unseen battle. The topic for tonight is suicide and what we don't really know, basically. I know suicide is a very hard topic for all of us to want to face. I mean, let's be honest. Who really wants to talk about suicide, right? Nobody. But we need to. Because it happens every day, 24/7. 365 days a year. And there's nothing we can do about it. Or at least that's what we think. Yeah. Suicide affects people for many reasons. I mean, let's look at the big topics here. Like, what causes a person to commit suicide? Is it depression? Yes, it can be. Is it financial problems? Yes, it can be. Is it trouble at home? It definitely can be. Is it work related? It can be. Is it a mental issue? It can be. So what actually causes a person to commit suicide? Are they feeling sorry for themselves? Some people would tell you yes. Others would tell you no. Majority of society would tell you yes. But the thing is you need to look at the bigger picture. Usually, a person who commits suicide is not going to tell you that they're going to commit suicide. Okay, until you walk into their house and you see a suicide note and that person is dead. Now, I know that sounds harsh, but it's the truth. Now, the ones that say, I'm going to kill myself, 95% of the time, or actually 99% of the time, they are reaching out for help. They're asking for help. And they're wanting help. And the thing is they don't always get the help they need. And that's where support groups come in. But what could be causing a person to even think about suicide? Yeah. What could it be? Could it be work? Yes, they could be under a lot of pressure. They could feel like they are unwanted, unappreciated. They could be put down at work non-stop. They could be, feel like that their work is being unnoticed. And, there's more than just work that leads to a person committing suicide. Yeah. Majority of the time when a person commits suicide, they have a very low self-esteem about themselves. They don't love the person that they see in the mirror. They don't appreciate. They feel like nobody appreciates them. That that it doesn't matter what they do, nobody cares. It's like they could have a better chance talking to a brick wall than talking to their better half, or talking to a therapist, or talking to a psychiatrist, or talking to their best friend. And the reason why is because they feel that nobody understands them. Yeah. And the thing is they could be right. I mean, I'm not saying they're wrong. I'm just saying they could be right. I mean, let's be honest. Life's not a bowl full of cherries. And let's also be honest. There's not a listener out there right now that hasn't thought about it at one time or another. Life gets overbearing on us. And we're like, you know what? Things would be so much better if I wasn't here. But the truth be told is, regardless if you're here or not, life will continue. And the only person you're hurting is the ones you left behind. So what do you do in a situation like that? How do you handle it? What are the signs? Well, that's just it. The signs are hard to find. It's like looking for a needle in a haystack. You're looking for something that you can't find because the person that is thinking about suicide is always so happy. And you'll never notice until it's too late. And then you're asking yourself, well, why didn't I? Why didn't I just pay attention? Why didn't I just notice that he or she was having such a hard time? Well, if you had opened your eyes and just been there for that person, you might have noticed. I mean, everybody goes through their own little problems in life. And everybody deals with things differently. But what you must understand is what they're going through. You might see it as a walk in the park. But they might see it as a challenge that they cannot overcome. It might be a tunnel where they never see the end of where they never see the light at the end of the tunnel. I mean, you have to think about things like this. I mean, have you really ever thought about it? Why things happen? What makes a person commit suicide? Some say, oh, well, they were feeling sorry for themselves. Chances are, no, they wasn't. They wasn't feeling sorry. They literally believed that if they wasn't in this world would have been a better place, and nobody would have missed them anyway. I mean, even I have thought of suicide in the past. And there are many listeners who have thought of the same thing. So to say that a person is taking the easy way out, that's not always true. Because to commit suicide is a very brave thing. I mean, it depends on how they do it. Do they slit their wrist? Do they jump in the river and hold their breath until they pass out and drown? Do they overdose on some type of medication? Do they wrap their car around a tree? Do they take a gun and blow their heads off? I mean, literally think about this. Majority of the time, when people commit suicide, they are literally plotting this for months on end before they ever do it. But yet, the ones who are saying, I'm going to kill myself, I'm going to kill myself, I'm going to kill myself, those people, they're not. They're asking for help. They are asking for someone to please help them. They're lost. They need guidance. They need help. They don't know what to do. They don't know where to turn. They don't know how to handle a situation. All they know is that their life is in turmoil and they have no idea how to handle anything. For instance, and this might be, sharing too much. I have a heart condition, and majority of the time I'm alone, and it frightens me. Now, does that mean I'm going to go out here and kill myself? No. But am I scared? Yes. And why? Because I've never had to fight, I never had to deal with anything like this. I mean, to have one side of your heart to decide that all of a sudden it wants to start slowly shutting down, and basically you've got a death certificate already signed. The problem is you don't know when it's going to stop. And you're like, okay. And then the doctors are like, well, because your heart's really damaged from being electrocuted back in 2000, we really can't stop your heart because there's a 1% chance that it won't start back. Well, those odds aren't really good. So that's kind of like committing suicide right there. I'm not ready for that. So how do you face something like that? You face it with the ones you love. But when the ones you love are nowhere around, how do you deal with it? Do you hide? Do you close yourself off? Do you cry? Do you become severely depressed? Well, in my case, I have at times become severely depressed. My eating habits have completely changed. I don't eat like I used to. I have lost 35 pounds in 2 months. At times I feel like I don't know where I'm going. I don't know where I've been. And I don't know how to handle it. And sure, I can talk to my husband, but he doesn't know how to deal with this. So what do I do? Is there a support group or something like this? No. Do I have friends to help me with this? No. So what do I do? Answer is, I don't know. I do my best. I hope for the best. I pray for the best. And I expect the worst. Life is not made to be easy. I could be like the others and just took my life the moment I found out about it. But to do that would have been wrong. So I just live with my life as I see fit. And I make each day count. Now, does that mean I'm taking my medication right? Honestly.